I know what I need to do, Nick. I just don't bloody do it consistently. I've heard some versions of that sentence hundreds of times over the last 8 years, and maybe you've said it yourself. You know protein is important. You know you should probably drink more water. You know moving more would help. You know that vegetables are good for you. You know having takeaways every night probably isn't ideal. None of that is new information. So let me ask you a question. If knowing what to do was enough, why are so many intelligent, successful people still struggling with their weight? Why are the doctors struggling? Why are the pharmacists struggling? Why are the dentists, business owners, executives, and successful professionals all struggling? These are people who solve complicated problems every day. They manage teams, they run businesses, they make important decisions, they raise families, they support their parents. Yet, when it comes to their own health, they find themselves saying, right, I'm starting again on Monday. The answer is simple. Most people don't have an information problem. They have an implementation problem. Information has never been easier to access. You can go on YouTube and find thousands of videos about weight loss. You can scroll Instagram and get a new nutrition tip every 30 seconds. You can listen to podcasts, download meal plans, use calorie calculators, buy recipe books, and even use AI to create a diet for you in seconds. We have more health and fitness information available than any generation before us, yet people are becoming heavier, more tired, more frustrated, and more confused. So clearly, more information isn't the missing piece. The way I explain it is that there's a gap. On one side of that gap is I know what to do, and on the other side is I'm actually doing it consistently. Most people spend years stuck somewhere in the middle. They know what they should do, they just can't seem to make it work for long enough. Maybe you start eating well, you get a few gym sessions in, you lose 2 or 3 kilos, your clothes start feeling better, you think, this time I've cracked it. Then what usually happens, life gets busy. You got a stressful week at work, the children are ill, you're traveling, and there are 2 family events in the same weekend. You miss a few workouts, your meals become a bit more reactive, and slowly the routine disappears. A few weeks later, you tell yourself, I need to get back on it. Then maybe you wait, maybe until Monday, maybe until next month, maybe until after the next wedding, after Diwali, Christmas, the holiday, after work calms down. But there's always something. And eventually you start another plan, another challenge, another app, another meal plan, another attempt to be perfect. But let me ask you something. How many Mondays have you already had? How many times have you told yourself, this time will be different? Most people don't need another Monday. What they need is a system that doesn't disappear every time that life becomes difficult. And I think this is especially important for people in our community because life isn't just busy, it's unpredictable. One week, everything is going well. You've done your food shop, you've planned your meals, you've trained, you're feeling in control. Then the following week, your parents invite you over for dinner. There's a birthday on Friday, a wedding on Saturday, a family lunch on Sunday. Your mum sends you home with 3 days worth of food. Work becomes manic. And suddenly, the plan that you were following no longer fits. Now, that doesn't mean that you failed. It often means that the plan that was designed for you was only for perfect weeks. And real life doesn't give us many perfect weeks. This is where people start relying on motivation. They start thinking, I just need to get a little bit more motivated again. But motivation is unreliable. You don't wake up motivated every day for your career. You don't only look after your children when you feel inspired. You don't pay your bills when you're in the mood. The important areas of your life don't run on motivation, they run on systems. Your work has systems, your business has systems, your household probably has systems as well. Your finances definitely do. Things happen because there's a structure behind them. So why do we expect health to work differently? Why do we expect ourselves to wake up every morning feeling excited to train? Why do we think we need to feel motivated before we can eat well? Motivation comes and goes. Your energy changes, your circumstances change, work gets stressful, children get ill, parents need help, weddings, festivals, holidays, they all happen. Motivation isn't designed to survive all of that. A good system is. And that is where many people misunderstand consistency. They think being consistent means being perfect, never missing a workout, never eating out, never having a dessert, and never going off plan. But that isn't consistency. That's just unrealistic standards that almost nobody can maintain. Consistency is knowing what to do when things don't go perfectly. It's knowing what comes next. It's going to a wedding, enjoying yourself and carrying on afterwards, not turning one meal into an entire weekend and then turning one weekend into an entire month. It's coming back from holiday and returning to your routine, not punishing yourself, not starving yourself, not waiting for another Monday, just continuing. That's the difference. Most people don't lose their progress because of one wedding. They lose it because of what they tell themselves after the wedding. I've ruined it now. I may as well enjoy the rest of the weekend. I'll start again next week. And once you believe you've failed, every decision becomes emotional. But imagine the opposite for me. Imagine knowing how to handle the week before a wedding, how to enjoy the wedding, and knowing exactly what to do afterwards. Imagine going on holiday without feeling like you only have two choices. Either you restrict yourself and enjoy none of it, or completely lose control and come back home feeling guilty. Imagine knowing what to do when work suddenly becomes hectic, or when the children aren't sleeping, when your normal routine disappears. Not because you've suddenly developed more willpower, but because you now have structure to fall back on. That is what most people are missing. And that's also why I believe coaching is far more than accountability. People sometimes think coaching means having someone check whether you followed a plan. And yes, accountability is useful, but that isn't the most important part. The most important part is adaptation, because life changes, so sometimes the plan needs to change too. If work becomes busier, you adapt. If you're traveling, you adapt. If you've got 3 social events in 1 week, guess what? You adapt. You don't throw the entire thing away because option A didn't work. You find an option B or C or D, and that's how real consistency is built. Not by demanding perfection, but by having a system flexible enough to survive real life. And after helping more than 800 South Asians, that is one of the biggest differences I've noticed between people who keep the weight off and people who remain stuck in the cycle. The people who succeed, they still eat curry, they still have the roti, they still attend the weddings, they go on holiday, have busy weeks, they miss workouts occasionally. The difference is that they no longer treat those things as failure. They don't believe one meal has ruined everything. They don't need to start again. They simply know what comes next. And there's a huge amount of freedom in that, because you don't stop feeling like you're either on it or off it. You stop living in extremes. You stop being perfect for 4 days and then giving up for 3. You stop waiting for life to calm down before looking after yourself. You build health into life. That's the real goal, not another short period where you lose weight quickly, a way of living that you can actually continue. So if information isn't the problem and motivation isn't the answer, the obvious question becomes, what does the right system actually look like? What would happen if instead of taking a generic bodybuilder plan and trying to squeeze South Asian life around it, you built the system around our lives from the beginning, around food, family, career, weddings, culture. And the fact that life will never be perfectly predictable, that's exactly the question I've spent the last 8 years answering. In the next part of this video series, I'm going to show you the system we built as a result, the Affinity Takeoff system, why it's different, how it works, and why it's helped hundreds of South Asians lose 10 to 20 kilos without feeling like they need to choose between their health, their family, and their culture.